This meeting to order. Would you call the roll, please?
Good morning. Alan Barkstrom is excused. Jeff Halstrand, Paula Hodak.
Here.
Jordan Spacek.
Here.
And Dennis Warko.
Here.
Thank you.
Public comment. Is there any public comment? There's no one in the gallery. Is there anyone online? Star 6 if you want to speak. No, I don't hear any. Is there any communications? Anybody have anything? Employee status updates, Dick.
All right. New hires, promotions, reassignments. Logan Schmager, Deputy Sheriff, 6/16/2025. Teresa Olson, substitute home delivery meal driver for Park Falls, started 6/23/25. Kristen Overturf, family skills worker on 7/14/2025. Katie Voss, Health and Human Services Assistant, will be on August 12th, 2025. Melody Jorgensen, ADRC Disability Benefits Specialist, started yesterday, so 8/11/2025. Charles Melbar, highway operator, started on 8/11/2025. Terminations, resignations, and retirements. Hope Miesbauer, family skills worker. Her last day was 6/18/2025. She worked for us for 3.5 years. Julie Getty, Health and Human Services Assistant. Last day was May 7th, 2025. Worked over at Health and Human Services for 3.5 years. Lita Mason worked in the ADRC as a disability benefits specialist. Her last day was June 27th, 2025. Worked just over a year over in that office. Steve Schneider, highway operator. Last day was June 5th, 2025, and he worked for us for 2.5 years. Recruitments, substitute site nutrition manager. That position's ongoing, so that's always the backups, the substitutes. Part-time casual corrections officer and dispatch, and part-time deputy sheriff. Both of them are just ongoing. We're always interested in looking for part-time to fill those times off, and then if they turn out to be a really good part-timer, there's always opportunity to become full-time when there's an opening. That's what I got.
Dennis, I'm sorry. One note. Could we please approve the minutes?
Oh, did I miss that?
Number 2, yes.
Sorry.
No problem.
I'll make a
Okay.
motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Dennis, I've got a question for Nick as
Sure.
far as recruitments and whatnot. Jay Toombs is in law enforcement yet, part-time?
Yep.
Okay, because Rib Lake just hired him as their full-time.
Yeah,
police
we have
officer.
several officers that work other places. Some of our officers work part-time at like Phillips or Park Falls, so it's
I
a
just wondered
common.
if he had turned in anything or nothing. Going to keep doing both.
No, he was part-time before that, so it's a common practice we see is they'll work other agencies around
Okay.
here.
Okay, supervisor and procedure manual.
It should be supervised policy and procedure manual on that. But this one, again, we're putting it on here to remind you that by October, November has to have it happen, but October board meeting, we need you to come up or to review the supervisor's policy and procedure manual, recommend any changes for the full board to be approved at that October or November meeting, preferably October. The things that we usually look at are the wages that you guys receive as per diem. So we would set those per diem wages, and they can stay the same. We've had a couple of increases over the years. We've had also flat for a while too. So that would be up to you guys. We'll need to make a final decision here in the next couple meetings. And then the other one we had talked about earlier in the year was conference approval. So in the handbook, this kind of came out of throughout the year. We have a lot of people that go to conferences, and what's the procedure for board members to go to conferences? So I believe at the time we just kind of said, keep working with the board chair and the chair of that committee if you want to go to a specific conference. We left it at that. We didn't put anything in the handbook. I don't know if it necessarily needs to be in there, but it was one area you guys had discussed in the past.
So that'll be on the agenda for the next meeting.
Yep. So this is kind of, here's the handbook again, your policy manual. What do you guys think need to be changed? What areas do you want us to write something up, or if you have something you want written for a future approval? But we don't want to just bring it to you for approval, because then you don't have time to come up with anything.
Yeah, number 5. A is employee
Work cell
work
phone.
cell phone policy.
Yep. So we don't have anything in your packet for a work cell phone policy. So again, this is the same thing as we just talked about. We've identified some areas that we would like input to create or update our policy handbook and add to it, which then will go to the full board eventually. So the first one we have, I actually have 6, even though there's only 4 listed, is a employee work cell phone policy. We've been gathering a couple other counties' cell phone policies. We talked to TJ. This is going to come down to, we want to, it doesn't have to be super robust, but we need something in place in our handbook saying you may be issued a cell phone. We can determine whether or not it's your one and only cell phone. For example, TJ uses a single cell phone for personal and work, which is acceptable, not necessarily the best practice, but we're okay with it. HR, myself, all the social workers, they have 2 cell phones. So they have a work cell phone, personal cell phone. What we want to do is right now in our handbook, we have nowhere where it kind of gives you the guidelines. Like, we give you a cell phone. What can you and can't you do on it? What apps can you use? What can't you use? Trying to think of other things. Just what can you search on it? You know, it seems very simple, like be professional on your phone, but professional means different things to different people. So Laura's been collecting and working on kind of updating a cell phone policy that would come to be put in this handbook. Is there anything specifically you as a committee want to see in that policy? On a process, right now we just have, if we see a need for an employee to have one, it just gets approved through the admin office that department can purchase the cell phone for that employee. It hasn't been a real formal process at this point.
I can't think of anything.
I just think about right now and who would need one. Some health and human services on-call people potentially should have a county cell phone.
Yeah,
TJ and Melissa should probably, and you know,
I would say about
Chief deputy.
50%.
you know, the sheriff,
All of our officers have one
your,
because it runs the cars.
okay.
I guess my only question is how are we, who's gonna sit down and calculate out the
Personal minutes.
personal versus,
I mean,
That's
it's all
up to the
a bulk plan now.
employee. Yep. So like TJ, we work with him. So he used to go through his bill and be like personal call, personal call, personal call. What we did is we said, here's an average. So like we're I would say that's the only person we want to have a dual phone. He kind of gets grandfathered into it. Going forward, it would just be, here's your work phone, here's your personal phone.
keep them separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what
I
we're
think
thinking
that's
with
easy.
the
I
policy.
think that's
is
easiest.
Keep them separate. You know, it's not meant for non-work social media, surfing the web. We found one that's really robust. I think it was like 5 pages, and it was like, no, like
That's a
one,
lot,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna.
No.
None of us are gonna be able to follow that, but it's really just a guideline that we need to put something in place. TJ did request that it's not only for cell phone, but all issued equipment.
Laptops and stuff like that.
Yeah, so maybe
Yep.
we expand it to like your laptops, tablets, Can't think of what else. we would
Personal
issue.
use of county electronic devices.
Yeah, but I do want it to very specifically say cell phone on one of them because that is becoming a growing
Issue.
potential issue. I don't think we have an issue. I see other counties with issues, whether they're just doing illegal stuff on their phone.
Does the county chair have one?
He does not. Prior county chairs did have one, but they did here's my personal minutes. It was
Oh.
because it's significantly cheaper to go through our Verizon plan because we pay by the minute, and if most people don't talk by the minute, so it's like $10 for all you can use data and 6 cents a minute. Well, in the end, it's by the time you're just using data on most phones these days between text messaging, like our social workers. The reason we got them all cell phones is the new generation texts each other, so they can now text their clients when and where to be places, so it doesn't cost very much
That's
per
nice.
cell phone.
Yeah, I think you should include laptops and everything. in
So
that
we'll look at
policy.
a separate. We do have an electronic use policy, but this really is more of a sign off that says you've signed off saying you understand these
Yeah.
specific rules.
Okay. Anything else on that?
No.
Okay, meal reimbursement time.
Yeah. So the next one, I don't know if it's in here. Yep. On page 35 of 78, it's highlighted.
Yep.
It's a bigger one. It's our meal expenses. So the two things we want to clarify and update on here is we have some people that will go on a conference or go travel or do whatever, and then they'll just save their receipts for like 6 months and they'll build them up. And so we're asking to put terminology in here, just like we do for other reimbursements, where it's just 15 days. So from the return of your event, you have 15 days, which would cover most likely, 2 pay periods, to give your receipts in. And if you fail to do that, we
Yeah,
can't
oh
keep,
well.
we can't keep tracking you down. So that's the first one we would like to add some terminology. Does anybody have issues with
No,
get your stuff in?
no, it makes
No.
sense.
No.
Makes sense.
Okay. And then,
I did catch one. Oh, besides that, one thing to add, like to look at is just because it was here is the tool allowance for the mechanics. That really should be upped because $300 doesn't get you much for tools anymore.
It buys
You
you
know,
a tool.
Yeah.
and we provide a lot now.
Okay.
We,
Okay,
and I can talk to Roger.
Sure. I
but
would talk to Roger. Just, I mean, like I said, it was just because we were going through and
We haven't heard
caught it.
anything. lately,
Okay.
So
Well, just might not hurt to up it a little bit. So
Yep.
tools have gotten,
Out of hand.
ooh, yeah.
was it Harbor Freight?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
You'd
I
be
understand.
surprised. Harbor Freight's got some pretty good cheap crap, actually.
I get they use them every day. but
Yeah.
Yeah. The other issue that we're having in the meal expense area, and this one really was a debate in our office on how to handle it, is say you showed up for work 6 a.m. Your normal day, you expected to be out on the road. So this is a highway example. You brought your lunch like you normally would. You're ready to go, and then all of a sudden, hey, these parts are ready. You two get in a truck or 2 trucks and go down to Marshfield and get it. Are we reimbursing, because they're going over a lunch period, a meal while they're out of county, even though their normal day would have been here and they brought their meal? So you are out of county, you are sent away, but it wasn't with notice. It was that at 10 o'clock that day, it's like, oh, I need you to jump in the truck and drive down and get it. Well, you would have been eating in your truck anyways because you brought your lunch. How do we want to handle those, that if you're sent away, do you get the meal? We did talk about maybe you put if within 24 hours, like say I told you 2 days before, hey, I need you to be running to Marshfield, we'll pay for your lunch. But if it's that last minute, you've already brought it, you've done whatever. Again, minimal costs. It's not a big thing. It's more of, we don't have a rule or a procedure to cover that.
Yeah.
I think if we send them out of town, the least we can do is buy them a lunch.
Yeah, I think so. Is that, when they have their lunch, is that an uninterrupted lunch with no, like, okay, we're going to have you can eat for 15 minutes and then you have to go do something on the road and you can come back and finish your 15 minutes. I don't know what their lunches are, but
It's a break. They take a scheduled break. I don't know if it's 2 15s and a 30. I would have to go look.
But
again.
is it uninterrupted that they can't be asked?
Yep, you don't
know,
work. You
at all?
have that.
Okay.
Like all the other departments don't have scheduled breaks. Highway does. Highway's the
Okay.
only one that still has a scheduled. You pull the truck off, you go sit on a side road. Where like a social worker, we don't give a 15-minute break. A deputy clerk doesn't have a scheduled 15-minute break anymore because you're not tethered to your desk. So you can go to the bathroom when you want. You can go get a soda when you want. You can go get.
Well, I understand that. It's just the uninterrupted break. I just think of being at the school. That was you could not be bothered for that half hour.
Oh,
although,
Shoes were union.
Oh, how times have changed.
although, yeah. Well, that was, things have changed now. They were changing when I was there yet too. So, but
So, and again, this was just.
I
more of a
think
clarification.
you send them on a roll. I mean, I know I go home for lunch every day because I live 100 yards from work. But when I go out of town, I always stop and get, if I go for parts, because it's kind of like a, hey, I'm on a road trip. I'm gonna grab lunch, even if I'm gonna be back right at noon. Like if I got to run to Medford, I still hit up McDonald's or Culver's or something, just because it's like, oh, it's a road trip. It's something special, you know.
yeah,
So
it's a perk.
It doesn't happen
that.
that often.
yeah,
It was one of,
But
it,
it
it was
does.
unique situation where.
I think the receipts definitely need to be turned in, but I
Yeah.
think a lot sooner. I mean, at work we have a policy. We have 72 hours to get our receipts in for a meal.
Okay, we'll change it. Jordan said 72.
I'm just saying that ours is. I'm just saying ours is. That's how ours is.
Yeah.
Well, otherwise it's going to get lost
Gonna get lost.
It
and
really
most,
is.
and most of the time it's like
or go through the
"Ooh, it's an
wash or
$8
something.
meal. It's not the end of the world.
Honestly,
like,
our biggest problem with meal reimbursement is less about time. We have a couple of them that are just like, what, you saved it up for 9 months? Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. The biggest thing is getting a proper receipt. We have a lot of them that just get the little credit card thing that says, I was
Mhm.
charged $27. It's like, well, did you buy alcohol? Did you buy
yeah.
3 meals? Did you buy?
We have to have an itemized receipt, and like if we take people out like with it, they need to sign the receipt. We need to have
Oh,
names of
yeah.
people with it.
We don't allow that. I mean, I shouldn't say that. If I was at a conference with somebody, I'll pay for both and we both get reimbursed, but under one name. So
Yeah.
that's a good way to do it. Have them
But
sign it.
that's
Yeah.
I mean they're like
Yeah,
they
that's a
and
good
I'm
way.
sure sometimes it's like us it's oh yeah you were there so you scribble their name on it, so but there has to be a name with the meal, you know,
That makes
what
sense,
it's
yeah.
for. So
Okay. We'll work on some language on that to clear up that if you're sent off for the day, and again, I hate using me as an example, but like today I'm leaving as soon as this is done to get to Green Bay in order to call in for the meeting this afternoon, because otherwise I'd be on the road for it. So if I waited till the end of this, I wouldn't leave till 5 o'clock. But for lunch, do I get covered lunch because I'm leaving to drive there? But really, I could be here and drive late. It's just I don't want to get there at 9 o'clock at night. So again, I didn't plan on reimbursing a lunch because I'll just grab something. But those are the examples that are tough because they don't get. It's not an overnight trip. Well, it is an overnight trip, but when did I have to leave versus
Yeah.
when did I leave? Because I could have drove during that meeting in the afternoon, still got there during work hours.
Nowadays in Wisconsin, you have to leave early because you never know where there's construction.
So back at
Have
a
to.
former employer that I had, if you were a salaried employee, your day was what it was. If you're not packing a suitcase and going out of town, you didn't get reimbursed any meals.
I'm packing a suitcase. I'll be there all.
So you're gonna
Like,
be,
yeah.
we're sending you out of town for work. So
Yeah, but
then-
it's more of the time.
then you would get reimbursed.
Yeah.
I don't think it.
Right.
Yeah. It's more that's where we struggled in again, we talk about this stuff is right. I'm choosing to leave at 10:30, 11 so I can make it to be, the room for the online call. I wouldn't have to. I could leave at 4 o'clock at night, or I could leave at 2 o'clock, just be driving during the meeting and call in. So the meal is really not that's where it comes in question because I chose to leave early. Again, I don't like to use me as an example.
Boy,
but
if we've
those are the
gotten that
things
touchy and it's like, come on, eat and charge it.
Can't make a
you
rule
guys,
for
you guys
everything.
make a handbook. We're just
Oh,
following
and sometimes you can get carried away with
the
with
opposite
things. I
sides.
mean,
Yeah.
what a meal is nothing.
No, that's nitpick. That's
I went out for a really fancy steak one time, then realized I had to pay for half of it because my reimbursement wasn't enough.
So.
Let me
did
tell you
your-
that $69 steak was worth it though.
I will say,
Until I had to pay
if
the
you-
reimbursement back.
Picking on myself, if you ask Robin, because we have $35 as our max for dinner, I'm a Qdoba or Chipotle person because I grab it and go to the room. And so she always like, you have more money to spend for dinner. It's like, I don't want to sit by myself and have a steak.
Sure.
Just give me my food and let go.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
The next one I have on here is the grievance procedure. Two things that would need to be updated is on page where it says page 56. It says step 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's so then step 4. One of them, the steps are just numbered wrong, and maybe we fixed that already and didn't even tell you. But the steps were numbered wrong. And then the second thing is we had a situation where an employee used the grievance procedure, which is their right. We had no issue with that. But we got all the way to the point of an IHO hearing, which is very expensive. So we paid.
There is no step 3.
Is that what
goes-
it was?
It goes from 2 to
step-
4.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we got to renumber it. That's the small part of this. So we had an employee do an IHO hearing or request one. So we go through all these steps, lots of money. You have the lawyers involved. We recruit or hire or choose, whatever you want to call it, a IHO to come on site. They do pre-work. When they get here, so between the employee and us, we split the cost of the IHO. So this time it was approximately $5,000 for the IHO to come here, do his decision, do everything. So that's in there, that you split it. Well, in this situation, the person did not show up for the IHO hearing and gave us no indication that they were not going to show up. So we had a lawyer that costs a lot of money to drive here. We had the IHO who you wasted their time to come here from Wausau. You have all these expenses. So we would like to put in here that if there's a failure to show up to the IHO, it's an automatic loss. Like you there. So we still had to sit here for a half a day and go through the whole hearing one-sided. So we did all our witnesses, we did everything. And what we want to add in here is that if there's a failure to show up, it's an automatic.
A failure to show up without notification. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yep, I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's like filing a court case and then not showing up for it. And
Yeah, it would have saved us about half because the IHO would have been here. So they still drove, they still did some pre-work, but they wouldn't have had to do the conclusion, which is several hours, and they could have just turned around and drove back instead of sat here for a half a day plus drive time.
Yeah.
I mean, afternoon drive time.
that makes sense.
So we'll clean up that language and bring it back to the acceptance of gifts. So
I was thinking about this because I won a Yeti cooler at a drawing last summer.
I thought you said you want one. I was
No,
like,
I
we're not
won, I
giving
won,
you
I won one,
Won one,
you know,
yes.
so like, I think you need, you know, and I don't know, I've never been to the conferences like the ladies go to and whatnot for social work and all that stuff. Do they give that stuff away? Like,
I would
mean,
say
ours are-
95% of conferences give $50 gift cards, $100 gift cards.
sure.
I was talking, the WCA one gives a TV every year, AirPods, free access to the next conference, which is really
Yeah.
$200-$300.
Yeah.
I think the value should be like 250 then. Really, truly. I hate to say, I mean,
No, I agree with you. When you
like I
said
said,
100, I thought that's pretty
yeah,
cheap.
I know,
for
because like
now.
I said, I won a Yeti cooler last year and I think it was actually like
They're like 300,
100
400.
bucks,
Yeah.
you know, like I couldn't believe it. You know, when a guy called me, I'm like, yeah, right. And he's like, no, really, you did. I'm like, oh, that's never happened.
Right. And I don't disagree. The reason we're bringing it forward so we're clear online, so everybody, or record wise, is we usually use a general number of $25. Well, things that are being given away have become much more expensive.
more.
If it was over $25, they had to report to Office of Administration, hey, I won this. We would then determine. In the past, like we've had people win a $50 gift card. We're like, cool, congratulations. You've made it clear who you got it from. It was a vendor, you know, just so we're transparent about it. So it's not like all of a sudden that employee goes, you know, we should really use opengov.com because I won a $200 gift card.
Yeah.
We've never had the, you know, private business see a lot of trips or a lot of large events. Come join us as a guest. We don't see that. We also, I would want to add something in there you know, it says that you can go out for lunch and do things like that. We've always kind of had a general policy, you know, a discussed policy. TJ and I talk about this, Josh and I talk about this, where we don't go to lunch with you if you're here just giving us a presentation. We'll go to lunch after we've signed a contract and you're already a vendor we use. That way we don't have people coming in the door taking us to lunch and all these. That's a waste of time for everybody. If we've seen your product, we're using it, we're contracted, and they're here to do, like, when they come to replace something, a boiler, usually the supervisors come to check on everybody and they take people out to lunch. That's no problem in my book. We've already spent the $300,000 with them.
Yeah.
We're going
And
to
that's
lunch.
easy to address, no lunch for pre-sales.
Yep. So that we want to do something with that where it's, if you're not an established vendor or a pre-signed contract, don't do meals. Now they bring cookies. We had a Transcendent brought cookies when they did, like, that's fine. Again, for items, I will put
If
in
you're getting
something.
wooed by a batch of cookies, they better be doing
I
good.
don't know. Some bring specialty baked goods, like from a bakery instead of just Quick Trip. Conference prizes. So it sounds like you guys want to, when it's anything of value, we'll try to define that a little bit.
Yeah.
Of that, give it a value for now.
Yeah.
So we'll clean.
Sounds good.
Okay. The other one that it didn't get on the list, but we want to talk about is social workers. You guys created a program where we reimburse social workers for their schooling. We want to clean up some of the language in there that says we need a receipt and proof of passing the class before we reimburse. So employee is on the hook for the cost up front. And then as soon as they pass it and they show us the completion of the class, then we reimburse them. It's pretty much what we've been doing, but we want to make sure, because what if somebody doesn't pass and they just say, well, I took the class, you told me to. And
Mm-hmm.
so we want to make sure it says that.
Do we have any type of commitment in there for service after we pay?
No, it's very hard to hold them to that. We do for sheriff's department if we send you and blah, 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 but good luck collecting it. It's one of those legal things that it's really hard to, and most people will leave and go, cool, they're going to pay me 10 grand more. Fine. I'll give you $1,000. So we can look at that a little bit more.
I just know, like, on the ambulance service, we have such a problem where we'll pay to go to EMT school and then they'll go off to Wausau. You know, after a small little department has paid for the schooling. So
Yeah. The other thing,
and we put in there that you owe us 2 years of being an ambulance, running with the ambulance, and again,
yeah, I got
it's a hard one to
reminded.
take to court and collect.
I got reminded of why we don't require it. It creates a new IRS. It's different tax rules.
Okay.
That's why I knew we
Alright.
had made that kind of.
Good job, Carrie.
Yeah, that's who it was. She's on top of that. The other one that we want to bring forward, and again, we're cleaning up these things, is we have a mandatory week off for anybody who does payroll or finance. We give them 2 days off and then use 3 of your own vacation days. So really you're taking 3 days off. We're making it a week. It extends. We have a lot of people that love it. It works well. But we want to clean up the language that in there it talks about how when you're gone, you should have a backup that does all the payroll or accounts payable work while you're gone. We had a situation where the employee that was leaving did all her work did all their work pre-week off. So when it came to the week off, there was no AP or payroll process to be done. So it defeated the purpose of the backup learning and knowing what's going on, and the boss knowing, like, hey, we can do this, or the supervisor knowing we can do this. And
Don't overachieve.
well, and we don't know if you were stealing or cheating us because you did all the work that we're supposed to be double checking by having you not do the work.
Sure.
So we didn't see any invoices or we didn't see any payroll that normally that new person would have to go do and go, this is suspicious. Why are you giving this person $500 or whatever? So again, that's the reasoning to do this. So I want to add language that says employees shall not complete payroll or AP tasks prior to leaving. So you're done on a Friday, you should have everything that you would normally do, still have to do that next week.
Sure.
So again, cleaning up some language there.
I thought that was kind of recommended from our auditors, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah. The whole program was through auditors, through
Right.
financial best practices. It was just we had very good employees that were like, cool, I'll make it easy on the person. I'm gone for the
Right.
week, which is
right.
great on a normal week, but this is a unique.
It's like a
situation.
pre-audit.
And,
I
and
think there's
guess
nothing
from
wrong
your
with that.
standpoint, to explain a little bit better what we're really trying to do with this is, to say, we want somebody to be able to do this in your absence.
Right.
So this is not just let's satisfy the auditors by saying we're giving a week off. Let's actually have this as a useful training tool. that
Yeah.
Somebody else is doing it, and
Yeah. So, for example, we had one in my office took their week off. And so when they're gone, I'm the one that has to approve everything at the bank. So I have to make sure all my passwords work, all my
Yeah.
dual authentications. And we don't do that every 3 to 5 months to make sure I keep up on it. So it's like the week before, it's like I'm calling the banks, like, I need to re-verify my token. I need but it makes me be prepared and know, like, if that person didn't come to work the next day, we could still get payroll out. We could still get AP out. We could still transfer taxes to the municipalities. And that's why we do it. Otherwise, we get real comfortable and just that person's really good at their job and will
And
make
then-
us all look real
And then
good.
surprise.
Lots of yellow in there.
And it's highlighting big areas. It's not,
Yeah.
it's like a sentence here, a sentence there that
Yeah.
we're going to recommend. So the next one you'll see will be much less yellow, but it'll just say, this is the words we added or struck out.
Okay, social media policy.
So this is under administration manual. This is different than the employee handbook. So we have two manuals.
Yeah.
Administration manual is more for supervisors and just guidance on what wouldn't necessarily be a procedure for employees. So Laura came up with some guidelines on a social media policy. And what we want to clearly define here is this is not personal use. This is not outside of work. This is not stifling freedom of speech. This isn't
Mhm.
you be your social media as long as you don't identify as a county worker outside of work. You can say and do what you want on social media. What this is for is when we're right now working on consolidating our social media platform to say we have Price County, and then from Price County, there's going to be the health department, the sheriff's department, the highway department, vet service. I think there's like 7 divisions where it's like, cool, if you're a vet, you can follow this one and it's more concise to the vet stuff, but everything will still be on our main Facebook page or whatever we're using, social media. And so what we're doing here is saying, okay, if you're responsible for the social media in your office, these are the guidelines we're following. Shouldn't be political. It shouldn't be this, it shouldn't be that. So this is just your first draft to be looking at and thinking about what you might want to add or subtract, or any issues you might have with, the social media stuff. The biggest problem we're having with social media is it doesn't let you just make a business account and just say, here's Price County. You have to actually put it under an employee. So like Jean used to be the one that
Yeah.
her personal Facebook was linked to the Price County Facebook page. And so when she left, she was great and gave us permission, changed the administrator to a new person for that. But you could have an employee that just leaves and says, okay, I'm not giving it to you. And then all of a sudden, who knows what's being posted
Right.
or what's going on. So we're trying to consolidate that and figure out how we handle that. Policy will help so we could go after that person and say, give us access. But that's where this is coming from is we're consolidating. We're trying to have more of a presence. We're not real good at that in a lot of areas. It's one post here, one post 10 months later.
Yeah.
So that's the policy we're looking for.
And being that our administrative manual was updated in 2022, this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The administrative manual, we took a lot out of it in 2022 and put it in
Yeah.
the employee handbook. So like, for example, meals used to be in the administrative manual, but then not every employee gets the administrative manual. So then they'd go on a conference and be like, what am I supposed to do with meals?
Right.
And their supervisor was supposed to tell them. And so we said, well, all employees would be involved in meals potentially.
Right.
And so it's in the handbook now. That's how we looked at it. If it affects the employee day to day, it goes in the handbook.
It's a good one.
Employee handbook.
Good idea.
Health insurance program updates.
All right, so the programs that we're going to be, or we've already kind of signed up for January 1st, we're adding 4 things. So the first one is a company called Global RX Manager, or a program called Global RX Manager. What this one is it allows us to work with the pharmacies to get international drugs internationally. So when we were reviewing our mid-year, we have individuals that take high-cost drugs that are, say, $20,000 a month if you buy them in the U.S. We can get that same exact drug in New Zealand for $6,000. $6,000. So you'd save $14,000 a month, which is about $155,000 a year on one drug. So we immediately signed up for this program
Who's got to
because
fly down there to get it though?
they bring it right to your door.
Nick's going on a road trip.
For 155, I'd go on the road trip. They would send somebody. But yeah, so that one, and then we have a couple other users that it would save like $2,000 a month. So in all, we're hoping and it's a voluntary program. So that's the key to this one. That's tough, is the employee does not have to sign up to use the Global RX. So they can say, nope, I'm getting it locally. I don't want to do the international. We're going to work with them. We may have to incentivize. We'll figure out a way, because for $155,000, there's a reason to do this. So that's the first one. The second one is called MedSplit and Micro Dropper, micro something. So MedSplit Nano. We created our own infomercial for it yesterday when we were laughing about it. So MedSplit is, some people have very specific, I need 3 milligrams of something. This would not apply to that person. But there's some people that just need between 3 and 3 and 5 milligrams, right? So if you get a little extra, you're okay. If you get a little less, you're okay. So through this program, when you buy a 10 milligram pill that you're taking 10, you can buy a 20 milligram and split it. And so you'll get 9 to 11. You know, it's not perfect, but you'll get within what it is. And the 20 costs exactly the same as the 10. So you're doubling the amount of medicine you take home and the distance that it'll go. You work through a program, so it's not, you don't do it yourself, as in like, I'm choosing to split this med. You have to work through the program. They send you a tool. It's like a little splitter. I think it saves us like $3-4 grand a year if we do it, if people jump on that. So it's not a huge saver, but for the cost of just signing up for the program, it's a good option. The Nano Dropper is, if you've ever had eye drops, when it comes out, you're actually wasting like 90% of the medicine because it runs down the side of your face or down your nose because it's too much. So they've invented this thing called the Nano Dropper, which you'd think would just go on every dropper, but it releases a smaller dose, making the dosage that they get, or not a smaller dose, the proper amount of medicine.
The amount lasts longer.
Yeah, the bottle lasts 2 to 3 times longer because you're not wasting it down the side of your face. So we signed up for it. We don't have a lot of people on that. I think it was like a $300 to $500 savings this upfront, but it's something that there's savings there. We implemented, as of January 1st, a program called Better Health. So we have BetterHelp, which is our employee mental health assistance program, EPA program. This Better Health is an option that is a wellness program because we don't allow weight loss medicine. So if someone said, I want to take Ozempic for weight loss, we don't allow that under our plan. So this was an option that we could add to our program for those who are looking to get into a wellness program and try to lose weight for their health. That starts January 1st, and employees will learn about that at open enrollment.
We have a thing called Vitality where I work.
Same.
So it's a wellness thing.
Yeah,
I don't know, I don't know what it costs.
It's like a life coach. They coach you, and it's paid only by success. So if
we
you
get
sign up,
points built up for like certain check-ins each day and whatnot. And
yeah, it's a little different than that. This one's like, if an employee says they want to do it, it's like going to a doctor's appointment. There's a fee.
Sure.
And then after like you keep checking in, you have a health coach. If you lose 10% of your weight, you then pay the next fee, like a second doctor's appointment. And then if you get to 20, it's like there's up to 3 or 4 levels that, so we know the max you'd pay for any employee and the minimum if someone signs up. So, and hopefully it reduces, because we have a lot of people that might be on the cusp of diabetes, or it's also, it's not just like go out and run. It's here's some better eating habits. What do you currently eat? How can we, it's a life coach, health coach type thing.
Didn't Markwood used to do something like that? They gave everyone pedometers and
Yeah.
They could
little
sync it
different,
to
but
their
yeah,
computers
wellness
and-
programs.
then they were paid by the end of the day or something.
That's why I
So,
have a watch now because the company, because of the vitality and you can track the stuff and yeah.
oh, like a Fitbit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty cool.
The last program we've added, which we're all the most excited about, is called Health Check 360. It's in partnership with Tailored Family Clinic and then any of our providers, but we're working a little bit more with the Tailored. What this is we know that we live in a high cost area for medical procedures. So this program, if say you found out like, oh, I need a hip replacement, you call this program, this Health Check 360. They go, okay, if you go to the doctor you were going to choose, it would have cost the county $50,000. If you go over to Oakleaf in
Altoona,
Eau Claire area,
Altoona,
yeah.
yeah.
Eau Claire, it's going to cost the county $30,000. So there's a $20,000 savings if you choose this doctor. So we've set the limits of you get 25% of any savings as an employee is just a check, which would help you pay for your deductible, pay for your travel, which you were going to travel to Wausau or Marshfield anyways in this situation, but it helps you pay for it up to $5,000. So if the bigger ones are like your hips, your shoulders, your knees is a big knees was a big one, but it also works for an MRI. So you go to Tailored Family, they say you need an MRI. They say call this Health Check, because if you go to Aspirus, it's $3,600. If you go to Wausau, it's $600. You just save the county $3,000. We'll give you 25% of that up to $5,000. So we're now paying for you were going to travel anyways. But we're
Mhm.
now paying for it. You're going to have your deductible, which we're now helping you with that $600 deductible because you get that check. So we're really excited about it. It should save us some money because we're directing care is kind of the program costs, our direct cares. Of all these and all of our other benefits, we're going to have an employee benefits fair on October 22nd. We have like 12 vendors coming. Including like the college fund people, our ETF people, any benefits we have, we've invited, and most of them have said yes, they'll be here. It's in this room. Employees will be able to come all day to check out or understand benefits better. We'll be introducing a lot of these benefits at it.
Is that October 20th?
22nd.
22nd.
Yeah, you're welcome to stop by and see. I mean, you guys have approved all these.
No
benefits.
giveaways, right?
Lots of giveaways. Pens, pencils. Several of them said, what can we bring? I mean, they do ask, they're nice that, and we say, keep it small.
Yeah, it's good.
And then we'll also be doing employee open enrollment November 4th. So we'll do our mandatory meetings. We do them in here. We have our broker come. We have usually our HSA person come, our miscellaneous benefits person, and then they just talk to employees, say, here's what's new, which we just went over. Here's what's changing, and let employees know about their health program. Talk a lot about Tailored.
Okay. Health insurance, 2026 preview.
Yep. So at the next meeting, September, October meeting, I'm not sure when we'll have the final number. You as a committee are responsible for setting the premiums for employees. Right now, we're looking at a slight increase for employees. Under some plans, they pay like 8% of the premium. Our broker is recommending we go to 10% of the premium to be like average, the surrounding benchmarks. So employees will see a slight increase in what they pay on their paycheck. As far as what the county's paying, we've been a higher pay than what was necessary for a couple of years, knowing we were trying to build up that fund balance. So that looks like it's going to stay at the number we're at. So right now, the premium, the only thing we'll be looking at is the percent the employee pays, which shouldn't be too bad. The other thing that you won't be setting, but I'm going to make it very clear when we do set this one, is the following year we know the employee premium is going to go up by a minimum of $100 a month. And why we're doing that is we're going to be partnering with Tailored, that if you and one other adult, say you're on a family plan, singles would be half of this, but if you and one other adult go get your general physical at Tailored Family, you get $50 discount per month is what we're looking at as a program. We haven't finalized anything. So what that would be is for every member, up to 2 members, you would save $600 in premium for the year. So one, it introduces people to Tailored so they understand what it is. 2, it's just a general checkup. We get none of that data. We don't know anything about what the checkup was, but it starts to catch things before they become chronic illnesses, which is a huge cost if you can preempt that. So we're going to work on for 2027 an incentive program saying you're fine, you can pay the extra, you can pay this premium, but if you go throughout the year in 2026, the next year's premium will be incentivized less. So we'll have all that worked up for next when we approve the premiums. Nope.
Employee benefits, life insurance.
We talked about this a couple meetings ago, maybe in the last one. Well, it would have been the last one, but a while back. We've been approached by our WRS ETF program saying that there's life insurance for employees up to one year's wages or one-time wages. We looked at it. It's not really expensive. However, right now, going through the budget process, I don't think we have the room to implement something new like that. I think it's something we continue to look at in the future. We haven't had it in the past, but we'll keep it on the back burner and see if that's something that fits in the budget in the future years.
Taylor Family Health updates.
So this one, I mean, you kind of heard, we're continuing to partner with Tailored, and it's been a great partnership. I couldn't find the report in time. We were talking about it yesterday. They did send us a thing where it said, if you go to this hospital or if you go to Tailored compared to the hospital, this is how much you've saved. And we're lucky to have Tailored, because I bet we're probably $300,000 to $400,000 saved by now over the year. And where we're saving a ton is when people need labs. They would normally have to go to Marshfield Clinic or Aspires Clinic, and it would be $2,000 because you just show up, you get a lab. If you go down to Tailored, it's $300 or $400. So we're saving every month somebody gets their labs there instead of at the clinic. And it's the same information. It goes straight back to your doctor if you want it. It's just where you get your labs. Again, that's why we're trying to incentivize going to Tailored, just to get introduced, because there are still a lot of people that go there for labs to Marshfield or to Aspires monthly or quarterly. And so if we can get them to go to Tailored, we save every quarter or every month.
And I think, I don't know for certain, but I think Taylor Family Clinic sends their labs to Marshfield Clinic to get them done anyway. So
Can't
it's,
confirm.
it's interesting.
Cannot
Yeah,
confirm.
I know. I can't confirm it either, but
They may use the same labs.
yes.
One way to skin a cat.
2026 Deputy Union Negotiation Update.
All right, so we do have a closed session on the agenda coming up, but for transparency, this is our year we negotiate for the future years, 1, 2, 3. We don't know how long we're going to negotiate for. We've let the union know we're ready to negotiate. They've let us know they're ready to negotiate. Our first step is coming up with our requests. I was going to say demands, but that sounds really bad. Our requests, we each produce a list. So we'll go into closed session today. I'll talk about some things we want to clean up in the contract. You guys will kind of give here's our max, here's what we're thinking, blah, blah, blah. We'll then write a letter to the union saying, here's the 7 things we would like to address during negotiations. they will also exchange. So we do, it's funny. It feels like, okay, on neutral ground, we'll meet and hand over envelopes. It's not, kind of happens that way, but it doesn't. I'll meet with the union president. I'll hand her an envelope. She'll hand me an envelope. We'll then bring that back to the committee. They'll review that at a future meeting. Then after review, we'll have them come to the table. We'll come to the table. Hopefully we can knock it out in a day or half a day like we did last time, where we just kind of go over the details of what each group's requesting, what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to add. And hopefully we're done by that November timeline. So today we'll have our first discussion. Next meeting, we'll discuss lists. The following meeting, we'll hopefully meet. So I've already told the union, we plan on no special meetings unless it gets to late in the year where it's like, we want to get this done. But we started early enough to just do it at our normal scheduled meeting. We've worked well. We have a new rep. So last time you worked with Rich, do you remember what was it? It was from Taylor County. Richard
Something
something.
like that. Yeah.
Our WPP rep, PPA rep is out of Marathon now. Nice guy. I think you guys met him. Do we have a grievance? He plays Santa Claus. Did you guys have met him?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I do.
I don't. We had a grievance, and he was a nice guy. We cleaned it up, and it's been a pleasure working with them. Is I guess what I'm saying. So,
Okay, next meeting date is September the 9th. And on item 13, announcement and motion to adjourn to closed session pursuant to the exemptions in Wisconsin statute 19.85 1C for considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, and 19.85 1E deliberating or negotiating whenever competitive or bargaining reasons required a closed session for the purpose of the deputy union contract. We need a motion.
I would make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second that.
Call the roll, please.
Jeff Hallstrand.
Yes.
Paula Hodak.
Yes.
Jordan Spacek.
Yes.
And Dennis Worko. Thank you.
so for those of you online, we'll be ending the meeting because there is an agenda item when we come back out, which is take action as needed on closed session. But I believe there won't be any action because it's just our negotiation strategy for this meeting. So we will be ending and not coming back into the virtual meeting.
Okay, let's take a 5-minute break while everybody's leaving.